everybody, my name is Luke, this is Hot Mode, and today on Hot Mode we are getting into the London Fashion Week Celebrity Fashion Roast and Review. We have a lot to discuss, from the looks that were worn on the front row of fashion shows, but also the looks that were worn to the Vogue World event, which was put on by Vogue. Shocker. Where a bunch of celebrities and also aristocracy and royalty showed up as well. So we have lots to get into. Let's get into it. First up, we have Emilia Clarke wearing Dior. She is a Dior woman. I'm pretty positive. I don't mind it. Listen, I'm not obsessed with it by any means, but out of all of the Dior looks that we've ever seen, definitely not the worst. The dress is made up of spaghetti strap strings that, interestingly enough, sort of create triangular shapes right above the actual neckline, but we can see that there is a tulle layer that covers the bust area, and underneath that tulle layer seems to be a sort of trellis netting, and it exposes, I think, at least a part of the bust area. We can see a little bit of it, but right below the bust area it actually becomes opaque. We hit waist detail, no belt, thank God. Everybody wonderful, gorgeous, say a little prayer. But below that, it's pretty much a tiered gown, but it's not super duper annoying tiers. Sometimes you get those Chanel tiered dresses and you're like, But here, I think they're nice, easy little layers of this tulle. We then had Gabrielle Union, who showed up wearing Burberry. Now, this is the Burberry that I was talking about in the London Fashion Week video, saying, where is this? Where is she? I want her. I need her. I would like her injected into my veins. This beautiful Burberry pantaloon, she is wearing a trench coat. It's in a light sort of green. It's in a casual sort of plaid that we all know and we've seen many times before. But the thing is, as we move towards, I would say, the thigh area of this trench coat, you can actually see that what is normally a straight plaid is actually becoming a little bit wavy. It doesn't conform to the necessary straight ideals of plaidness. Daniel Lee, you should be thanking me. I'm really giving you a lot of chops here. But as we keep moving down, we can see that it in fact warps more and more, and it distorts itself more. And that is cool. I think that's fun. I think that's the way the Burberry should be going. Like, build yourself into something that doesn't take itself so seriously and doesn't remind young people of World War II. That's what it usually gives when I see somebody wearing a trench coat. I think this works. I think this is cool. I think it looks great. Gabrielle Union knows what's going on. I love the fact that she's also wearing, I believe, socks that match in these sort of flip-flop heels. I don't know what's going on, but they're weird, they're wacky. I like them. I like that it continues the concept and the idea of the sort of warped plaid. The bag, I can't really see too much of it, but I like this green strap with the gold bauble on it, so yay. Next up, we have Gemma Chan wearing Louis Vuitton. I believe that this is a custom look, and it's pretty much a very well-fitted, very nice-looking, large gray paillette gown. There's not really much to it. It's a beautiful strapless style. It fits her, honestly, impeccably. The light radiates off of it very, very well. Gemma Chan really is, I think, one of those classic beauties where she can wear stuff that's really, really simple, really, really easy, and she pulls it off very, very well. And I have to say, listen, if you're gonna do simple, you're gonna do easy, you're gonna do minimal, at least make sure that it fits impeccably, and I think the Louis Vuitton team has done that here, very much so. It looks great on her. So I want more excitement, more pizzazz, more, yes, of course. But for what we're getting, it's good. Next up, we have Griff, who is wearing Simone Rocha. Simple sort of slip dress with very much so Simone Rocha sensibilities. I mean, there's a lace detail at the neck. There also is a sort of cup detailing that has crystals alongside of it. And then these little bows in pink and gold have also been placed motif-wise along the rest of the slip dress. Seems to be that she's wearing some sort of bodysuit underneath. And then right in the center of the bust area is a little red ribbon. But the thing that I love about Griff that I think is really, really smart here is that she's building these ribbons into the look. So she's wearing these earrings that are very much so signature Simone Rocha, sort of long crystal earrings, but they have little red ribbons in them as well. I don't know if those were placed on the actual earring or if that is part of how they were produced. But the thing that's really, really great, she has little bows right at the side of her eye, and it brings what's going on in the outfit into the makeup. She can do a super clean face and slick back hair, and it's great. Those ribbons just add that extra layer of thought and care and interest, and it makes me say, stan, love, obsessed. It is the moment, it is the vibe. Yes, good, sold. Happy. Thank you. Next up, we have Jodie Comer, who showed up at Burberry. She's wearing plaid dress. It's strapless, pretty A-line, looks a little bit wrapped, but here's the one thing I'm gonna say about it. Do I like it? No. But do I think I understand what's going on with this dress? I think I do. So the thing is, if you've ever worn a kilt, you will know that there are usually little sort of side buckles that actually are the belt element of how the kilt, if it's pre-assembled rather than actually like rolled yourself, because traditionally you rolled the kilt on yourself. If it's a pre-made sort of kilt style, you see those kind of leather buckles with the silver or metal hardware. So I think in reality, what Daniel Lee here has done has tried to recreate that effect of the kilt. It's a plaid tartan. I think it's like trying to reference those sort of things, and instead of making it a necessarily skirt-like thing, because a kilt is not a skirt, I do think that we've turned it into a dress, because people turn skirts into dresses all the time, and so I think it's smart. Do I like it? Nah, not necessarily. Do I appreciate where it's coming from? Sure. Do I like the boots paired with it? No, I don't understand that. That was lost on me. Maybe, again, it's like a reference to something, but the boots lost on me. They make the silhouette a little strange, a little awkward. But do I like the fact that I think, to me, it's referencing pre-assembled kilts? Yeah, I do. Next up, we have Jodie Turner-Smith, who is wearing Viktor and Rolf. I love it. I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I think it's cool. Also, at the same time, I know that it probably was like late September when this was happening, but it was still so hot that this bathing suit top experience situation, very much so appropriate for the weather. This is a gigantic bow that creates a top that also fills itself into a black sort of bathing suit brief. Cool. Sold. There's not really much I need to explain. From the front, we can also see that that bow is big, it's bold, and one of the tassels at the bottom of the bow flows out, and that's what reaches around Jodie and creates this top effect. I think it's cool. I think it's different. I think it's exciting. I think it's fun. I think Jodie Turner-Smith knows how to be a fashion girly, and I'm very content. Next up, we have Locke, who is wearing Valentino. Listen, it's the Valentino PP Pink. I think we're a little tired of it. No offense. Also, the fact that Locke and I look similar is not lost on me at all. I'm talking to myself a little bit here. Joe, hi, how are you? Listen, I don't think it fits badly. I think that the short, I think that's a short. I'm pretty positive it's a short. I think the short length is cool. I think it's nice. It's kind of like a Bermuda short kind of vibe. The shirt is cool, it's fine. There seems to be some sort of floral detail right at the neck of this shirt, and it looks to be a button-down shirt. And then the pink blazer, I think the length is fine. I think I get it. I understand it. I almost wish, though, that the shoe choice is a little bit better. The burgundy on the brown, I'm not really sold on. I feel like it takes me away from the full pink experience. Like, if we're gonna do Barbie, do Barbie. If we're gonna do PP Pink, do PP Pink. Give me big pink boot. Give me pink something. Give me pink sock and pink loafer. I need the continuation. That's my issue here. Also, the color is not great because it kind of plays into the red carpet color. So it's a little bit, you know, cut off at the shin. Next up, we have Jordyn Woods, who showed up and showed out at Fashion Week this season. She's wearing Chet Lowe. I love this. Listen, as you know, the durian look, very much so Chet Lowe. It's what we love. It's what we live for. I like this crop top. I think it's cool. I think it's sweet. Again, I think it's a great way for Chet Lowe to show off that he can, in fact, do different styles. It's not just durian dress, but in reality, he can cut this durian a bunch of different ways. It can create different silhouettes and different garments, and it can be a long-lasting thing. The high-waisted skirt is fine. It's nice. The hat, listen, is it a little condom-like? Sure. Ribbed. For whoever's pleasure. At the same time, I think it is fun. I do think it's cool. I think it's a great accessory, which I think a lot of the time we don't really get great accessories anymore, and I like that Jordyn is letting herself play into it. So listen, if anybody says that you look like a ribbed condom, Jordyn, just know that the fashion girls see you. We appreciate you. Next up, we have Kate Winslet wearing Dundas. It's just kind of blah. I don't know. I'm just kind of bored of it. I know that Kate Winslet was on the cover of the October issue of Vogue, so like I get why she's there. It's just a white suit. And like I'm not shitting on Dundas here, you know what I mean? Like it's a double-breasted suit. I think the styling is bad. The blah, boringness is unfortunate and not great. The shoe choice is terrible. I don't know who picked a pointy ass heel with those big flowy pants. The way they hit the floor, it's like, oh God, you know, somebody mop that up. There's a spill. No. And then the blazer, it doesn't look good. It also is like simple and it doesn't fit well. And again, that's my issue. Like look at Gemma Chan, look at Kate Winslet. There's a difference of simplicity is fine, but it has to be done impeccably. Next up, we have Kit Connor. Yes, fashion. Thank you. Sold. These high-waisted pants look great. I love the sparkle. I love the razzle. I love the dazzle. The look is from the spring 2024 Loewe menswear collection by Jonathan Anderson, and it seems like Jonathan Anderson and Kit Connor are becoming besties, and I love that for everybody. It's a real heart stopper moment, if you can get what I'm saying, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But again, pants, great. Love it. Think it's cool. Think it's exciting. Listen, a high-waist pant is kind of tough to pull off sometimes, and I think here it's cool. It's sold. It's wonderful. The shirt, love the polo. Love the sparkle polo. Great classic, but redone, remixed, re-energized with all these crystals all over them. I love that. It's fashion. It's exciting. It's experience. It's drama. It's moments. It's what we need. This one gagged me a bit. Next up, we have Kylie Minogue wearing Burberry. Now, this is a leather trench coat. It's pretty simple in terms of trench coatiness. There's nothing really super crazy about it, except it's sort of in a deep green leather. It looks nice. Listen, it's not a bad trench coat by any means. I like the popped collar. I think it fits the Kylie Minogue aesthetic. The tights, very British in my opinion. I think a British woman loves a tight. They love, love, love a tight. They can't get enough of them. And we also see that there are these purple velvet flower and furry sandal shoes, heels. The jacket's nice, but does it really say anything? No. Does it really excite anybody? No. Does it present to you any garment in which somebody says, I have to have that? No. And so I guess that's my question is, cute, fine, whatever, but like, okay. Next up, we had Letitia Wright, who showed up to Vogue World wearing Prada. She's wearing this little collarless black top. It seems to be not a jacket of sorts, but a top. And then it has a matching sort of cigarette pant, really nice, lovely. But the thing that's interesting about the look really is that at the cuff of the sleeve of this look is these white feathers that sort of jut out and create a little pizzazz there. It's not super pizzazzy, but it's pizzazzy enough. I'm not obsessed with it. It's fine. It's whatever. To me, it feels very sort of commercial Prada. Like if you were to go into a store, a Prada store, this I think could be hanging on the rack. And I don't mean that in like a bad way. I think it much more relates to what actually is oftentimes sold in Prada stores rather than, you know, what we're necessarily seeing on the runway oftentimes. I get it. I think it makes sense. I just, you know, want a little bit more. We then had Lily James wearing Erdem. Now she's wearing a rib knit sweater. It's a cropped sweater and it has black floral embroidery that sort of drips down the front of it. We can also see that she's wearing a high-waisted black silk skirt that has a lot of drapes and moves and grooves and folds and ruffles and all those sorts of things. Listen, I like the crop top a lot. I think it's very cute. I think knitwear is a great thing to be very good at, and I think Erdem does knitwear very, very well. Do I necessarily think that the skirt goes with the crop top? No, but like, am I fine with the styling element of it? Sure. I think it's very rare that you don't see looks that are like pre-planned. This feels like it's a little bit more, listen, we gotta slap boom bang something together. And I appreciate it. It feels styled, like somebody actually styled it. It was, let's mix and match and try and do something different rather than just wearing a look that came off the runway straight on my body. I appreciate that. Am I obsessed with it? No. But I appreciate the styling. We then had little Simz wearing Prada to Vogue World. Now see, listen, I love this skirt. Beautiful skirt. Big, beautiful, gorgeous skirt. I love little cardigan that's buttoned up and tucked in. And then you have this big, bountiful, pleated skirt. It's ridiculous. It is profound and prominent and over the top. And honestly, I think that's something that we don't really normally see from Prada, to be completely honest. Like, Mrs. Prada does not usually engage in this over-the-top evening wear women as a thing to look at, a trophy, a portrait. Mrs. Prada usually is working within the realm of dressing women so that they can actually live their lives, but also they're like very heightened, intelligent, smart, cerebral, all of these sorts of things. Raf Simons, I think, is a little bit in the middle of that. I don't think that he wholeheartedly goes into treat women as ornaments or decorations, but I also don't think that he's dressed women, you know, in their everyday life and all those sorts of things either. This skirt is very different for Prada. It's not something I think that we really normally see, and that's why I keep harping on about it. Listen, the shoe, I don't really understand it, but we're pushing it. Listen, it's just not for me. I wouldn't wear it, but I can appreciate if people like it. I don't think it's a bad shoe. I wouldn't wear it, ever. But the crystal bag, bucket bag, easy peasy, cool. Listen, I'm just obsessed with the skirt. I think Lil Simz is a cool, chic woman. She's styling, she's wildin'. We're here. I love a cardigan and a big skirt. So, thank you. Next up, we have Maisie Williams wearing Margiela. Yes. On Galliano Margiela, I don't really cover it like I didn't do a review of the show or anything like that. But here's my thoughts. I love this look. I think this fits Maisie very, very well. I think the aesthetic is very much so her. I like the Peter Pan collar and the sort of kitschy Lolita vibe, but at the same time, I do think that genuinely the idea of Margiela's deconstructionism, the thread that is visible that runs throughout, and you can see that those threads, it's not even oh, we're gonna show the thread, but it's perfectly done. No, 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 no. The thread looks messed up. It looks like it's uneven. It looks like if I was to actually sew anything, that's what the thread would look like when it would go through. So in that regard, love it. I think it's super fun. I think it's super cool. I think it's super exciting. I love little fishnets that are knee length exclusively, super cool, super fun, super funky. And again, you continue this idea of the overlaying of fabrics with the gloves and the headpiece and the hat. I love the hat. Maisie just she's going for it. I think that's the cool thing is when you go for it, lay into it, let yourself be overwashed by the aesthetic and build yourself into that aesthetic as well. And it really, really works out. You have a little glitter sort of shoe, no tabby in sight, but love this. Maisie killed it. Very happy, very content. Next up, we have Maud Apatow wearing Bodhi. Listen, I'm intrigued because normally you don't really see Bodhi women's wear. Oftentimes you're usually only seeing Bodhi menswear because that's what the brand has been historically. I think maybe there's Bodhi women's wear, I'm not really sure. But the thing is, the brand usually is about upcycling fabrics. A lot of it started with taking quilts and reproducing them in suits, shirts, pants, trousers, all those sorts of things, and upcycling fabrics. And also utilizing a lot of vintage embroidery, vintage threads, vintage embellishments, things like that. So I do think here with this floral crystal looking or beaded design, I really can't tell what it is from this photo. It does look beautiful and it does very much so keep intact with Bodhi as a brand, and I appreciate it. I think it really does look impeccably done. I think that Bodhi also is a brand that what they do very, very well, and so I respect that. My issue is the fit of the skirt. It just looks a bit big. It looks like it has a lot of space in there on Maud's waist, and I think that's my one issue. But love the tulle, little skirt, very cute, very fun, and I like the veil. We're keeping it together. The crown thing sold, very happy. Give Maud Apatow period drama. I would watch it. I want Lexi to live her best life. So thank you. Next up, we have Mia Regan wearing Knowles. Now, Mia Regan is dating one of the Beckhams. I don't know which one, but it's one of them. But she is wearing Knowles, and honestly, I think this is a really intriguing sort of Knowles look. It's not the pants and corsets that we are used to when we're looking at Knowles, but I do like the fact that they're Knowles house codes, but they're done much more, I would say, sort of commercially, which I know for everybody else, I'm like, no, I don't want to see commercial, but I think it's an interesting dichotomy for the brand. I like this leather jacket. It looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. And then she's wearing this sheer little dress, again, Knowles sheer signature element of the brand. And underneath there seems to be some sort of plaid short and maybe a bodysuit of sorts that is showing through. Again, that motif is very much so a signature of Knowles. And I do like the shoes. The shoes are strange. I like a square toe. They're fun. They're funky. In reality, listen, I know it's very commercial. I know it's not really anything to write home about, but do I find it interesting that there is this sort of commercialization of this up-and-coming London brand? Yeah, sure, I do. I find it interesting. I think it's something to watch. I think it's something to keep an eye on. Next up, we have Nakuti Gatwa, and he's wearing Burke Akyol. It's a pant with a green swag jumping out of it, jutting out of it, and a black mesh sheer top. Do I love it? No, not really. But do I appreciate going for it? Yes. Yes, most definitely I do. I think that the mesh top fits really, really well. It actually looks better than I would say most mesh tops fit just about anybody, so I appreciate that. And the pants, I can appreciate them from a red carpet vibe. Do I think that they look a little bit, I do. I just think something about the green and the drape, and it just doesn't really sell it to me all the way. And so I think the thing is, maybe if the drape had been incorporated into the top or had been draped, I don't know, a different way, it just, I don't know, would have helped a little bit more. I love the fit of the top. It's great. Love that. Yes. Next up, we have Nicola Coughlin wearing Harris Reed. Listen, it's your standard Harris Reed velvet look with an off-the-shoulder silk black little sleeve moment detail, shoulder experience. And then the thing that's really, really exciting and intriguing is the big hat. That's the Harris Reed signature. The black hat is surrounding, there's a gold draped situation. And in a weird way, it looks almost like I would say. Christian portraiture of people like Jesus and Mary, where they have the gold halos wrapped around them. I think maybe that's what we're going for here. And in reality, I respect it. I think it's an intriguing look back at iconography of Christianity. I do think if that's what's going on here. I also just think it's a beautiful look. I think the fact that the gold sort of frames the face is also really, really smart on Nicola. It looks nice. Happy with it. Next up, we have Princess Beatrice of York and her husband, whose name I do not know, and I want to apologize to this man, but he probably has a private jet, so he's fine without it. But the thing is, Princess Beatrice is wearing Richard Quinn. And I like it. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. I think it's nice. I think it's a more modern way of going about a more conservative style of dressing, to be completely honest, for the royal family. Princess Beatrice, Princess Eugenie, always a little bit more showy than everybody else, I would say. And genuinely, I don't think this is a bad example of stepping out of the normal somber, sullen, tough aesthetic of the royal family. I think this is cute. The draping looks really good. I love the built-in cape. The black is very sullen, very somber, very nice. But the yellow and the green of the floral motif really pops super duper well. I think that it works. I like the glove. I think that's very chic. The black shoe. It's all nice. I think it's wonderful. Very happy. Look at me, loving Princess Beatrice of York's look. Thank you to Richard Quinn as well. Next up, we have Princess Eugenie of York, and she is wearing Fendi. Now, this is an haute couture look, and I do not like it. But the thing is, somebody commented and they were like, but you said that you liked it when it was on the runway. And I did, but that's because the garment was different. Let's look at a side by side of the two. Now here's the thing. The top, fine. It's sweet, the color is beautiful, we really like it, it's flowy, it's gorgeous, it has texture to it, lovely, lovely, lovely. And then when we get to the waist, the thing on that runway look is, I love that waist drape. I thought it was really beautiful. I thought it was the first time I was really like, oh my god, Kim Jones, I love this. This is working. Go Fendi. Haha, rah rah. Here's my tissue. On Princess Eugenie's look, you have these two big drapes that flow into each other. They're not nearly as diagonal as they should be, firstly. The bottom drape is supposed to be larger than the top drape, and it's not. They look exactly the same size, so that I also think is a bit of an issue. It almost looked like the top drape on the runway was tucked underneath the bigger bottom drape. And then, to make matters worse, instead of the bust area blousing over the top of the waist like it did on the runway, here it is not. Here it is not doing that. Here we can see where there is a full disconnect between the waist skirt situation and the blouse up top. That's my issue with this look. I love the look on the runway, but like when we look at the subtle details of certain garments, you can really tell that, oh, actually these things are very, very different in how we follow the original experience. Maybe we would have been much, much happier, but we are not. I just don't understand why we couldn't have recreated those drapes in those sizes on the actual waist, and I think it really would have helped. I really genuinely think it would have looked so, so beautiful. So I'm a little confused by that, and I think that's why I don't like the look, is I think it really does differ in terms of construction and the way that it shaped the body from the runway version, and so that's the issue. The color looks beautiful on her. I like that she's experimenting. She'll survive. She's not wearing a headpiece at a royal wedding, so like, the worst is past. But I just don't think that this dress saddles up next to the original, and that makes me sad because it's a really great dress. Next up, we have Rita Ora. I have to ask a question, Rita Ora, why are you here? But to be fair, we're in London, so like, I think I understand why. Also, like, the British apparently love Rita Ora. I did not know this. I apologize to the British Isles. We're like, we love Rita Ora. And I was like, oh, okay, got it. All right, well, you can keep her. Keep her over there. Don't ship her to us. She is wearing a Elia dress by Peter Moulier. Listen, I love the concept of the dress. I just, something weird about the fit here. It's throwing me off. I don't know. The ruching on the sides is fine. It's just like the waist I don't really understand. I can't really tell if that's the dress or if it was like modified to fit her, which knowing Rita Ora probably was. Blame it on Rita. I like the color of it. I like the fact that you have this triangular shape that runs down the front to sort of draw attention to the body and try to contour it. Something about the waist I feel like is kind of throwing me off. But the thing that I really wanted to discuss is that when Vogue put up the fact that Rita Ora attended the event, and normally underneath you get a credit of who it is and what they're wearing, it said Rita Ora in luxury accessories from eBay. And I just was like, okay, accurate. Listen, I love eBay. eBay, I stan. I'm a big fan. I just am like, Okay, Rita Ora, in luxury accessories from eBay. Be real. Next up, we have Sienna Miller wearing Schiaparelli. She was the belle of the ball. I don't care. I'm obsessed with this woman. She sold it to me. She's wearing this beautiful cream silk crop top and a big, beautiful bonbon skirt. It's a bubble skirt, and what's even better is she's pregnant. Congrats. That baby is already a part of a fashion moment before the day even began. And the other thing is, I think that it beautifully fits around the belly. Like, it's so good. I love the fact that when people get pregnant, thank you, Rihanna, it seems like celebrities and also people in general are starting to dress more and more to actually showcase their baby bump. Like, it's important. You're having a baby. You only have the accessories for 9 months of the year. Roll with it. Go for it. Let everybody know. We want to see it. Play with it. It's a totally intriguing body modification that very much so should be tapped into, and it should not be something you are ashamed of. And on top of it, I think this is a great example of, like, you can serve. There's no stopping anybody from serving a good goddamn look when they are pregnant. This crop top is beautiful. It's lovely. The draping is amazing. This taffeta and this cream is lovely. The skirt, the way that it even dips underneath the baby bump is just amazing to me. The little tights, the little Schiaparelli toe heels, everything is just great and life is good and I am happy, and thank you, Sienna Miller. Next up, we have Simone Ashley wearing Tamara Rolf. Honestly, I like this. I think it's fine. I think that it's your kind of quintessential sexy pearl trellis dress, bodysuit, bodice situation going on underneath. I don't hate it by any means. I think that it fits her well. I think that the look definitely captures a sort of pearlescent upper crust British royalty, Bridgerton, yada yada yada. But it's a little bit more sexy and a little bit more exciting. I'm fine. I'm happy. I'll take it. We then had Sophie Okonedo wearing Standing Ground. Listen, I love Standing Ground. Great brand. Super fun. She's wearing a full-length black gown, and then she has these little beautiful, clear, resiny bangles on her wrists, which I love. I'm obsessed. They're super cool. They're super exciting. And then she has the Standing Ground anal bead waist belt. I'm pretty positive that this was built into the garment. I'm not sure that it's a actual belt, but rather it's built into the piece and then it sort of flows down. But either way, I love it. I think Standing Ground makes beautiful body conscious dresses. They're really lovely. I think they're gorgeous gowns. And then on top of it, they have this intriguing texturization of these beaded sort of things that look like alien tendrils, and I'm happy. Sold. Next up, we have Stormzy wearing Ferragamo by Maximilian Davis. I love this. Beautiful. Listen, you can do a beautiful fitted black suit, which up here we're getting, very much so. The fitting of that black blazer is lovely. The pants fit great. Very happy. The shoe, nice, cool. A little Chelsea boot. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Who would have ever thought somebody would wear a Chelsea boot? But then, underneath the jacket on the left side, his left side, comes out this white silk poof of fabric and just flows out around the back, and it gives this beautiful flow and lightness and diaphanousness to an otherwise very structured, tailored suit, and I'm happy to see it. Like, you can do really simple suiting and then have one cool, fun, funky detail that really makes it stand out from everybody else, and I'm content. Life is good, and I know everybody is dressing exactly for me. I'm the only person that they care about when they put on clothes before they go on the red carpet. Thank you, Stormzy. Next up, we have Taylor Zakar Perez, who is wearing Burberry. Now, this I think is honestly like pretty good Burberry. Like, I would wear those pants, most definitely. The trench coat, the fact that it's wrinkled, the fact that it's in this really sort of light, creamy beige is intriguing too. I think the top makes a lot of sense. I think that it's cool. I think it's something that men might be like, oh, I could wear that. That's easy. That's lovely. That's chubbly. That's bubbly. And then Daniel Lee is most definitely bringing back his little puddle boots, but for Burberry. Very intriguing. They're sort of cut out puddle boots. I don't know if I'm completely sold on them, but I understand them. I think they make absolute sense for the brand. I'm happy for him to do that because it's cool. I don't know. There's something about the pant and the trench coat that I do really, really think is sweet and intriguing and beautiful. I love the color of it. I love the texture of it. It works for me. And finally, we have Yasmin Finney wearing JW Anderson. She is wearing a little bubble dress in this black silk and a JW Anderson little sandal heel with a little sock that's sheer. It's cute. The bubble hem is here. The bubble dress is here. It's happening. You're gonna have to get over it. It's existing. You cannot stop it. I'm fine with it. I love a bubble. I do. I'm very happy. I'm very content. So that is the end of this London Fashion Week Celebrity Fashion Roast and Review. So let's talk about best and worst. Best. I am going to give it to Griff, Gabrielle Union, Jordyn Woods, Kit Connor, Jodie Turner-Smith, Lil Simz, sold, Maisie Williams, Sienna Miller, Stormzy, sold. As for worst, Rita Ora, easy, sorry. unfortunate. Weirdly enough, Kylie Minogue also I'm going to put in there. Jodie Comer and Burberry. I wanted to rationalize it, but it was tough. We'll leave it there. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys for the Milan Fashion Week review. And if you guys want to watch any of the New York, London, Milan, Paris videos, keep up to date because we are churning these videos out. So I'll see you guys in the next video and TTYL.